Here in Hamm-Westfalen, Germany, likewise often in Odense, Spain, Perpignan, Strasbourg, France, Fredericia, Denmark, train sections will be separated or combined, Simulation gekoppelt, if you will, in the various sections, Ram, Abteilung, and boy, you want to make sure you're on the right one, because you cannot easily access one from the other going to different directions. Also, that explains why the door openings can be delayed. As you come into Cologne, Köln, if you had done a citywide search without being station specific, you might have run across Köln Messe Deutz. That is for north-south high-speed trains, but is convenient to the main Hauptbahnhof. Don't forget to visit the cathedral, the dome. The connections between the two are done across the river.
Die Abfahrtzeit heute 15:25 Uhr vom Gleis 2. Express nach Trier Hauptbahnhof über Köln West, Köln Süd, Euskirch. Die Abfahrtzeit heute 15:30 Uhr vom Gleis 7.
As we come into Brussels, we'll be passing Brussels Airport, nominally Zaventem. The connection to the rail now requires some €5 extra, not covered by the pass. The ones that still are include Madrid, Barajas. You can do it certainly direct at CDG, Charles de Gaulle for the TGV line, but not into Paris. Of course, including that of Amsterdam, Copenhagen's Kastrup, and Frankfurt. There goes our ICE German version international train here in Brussels, coming from Cologne, noting it stops at here Brussels Nord, unlike the Thalys train. Make a convenient change to Central. There is a little international booking office here, but boy, they do not know what they're doing. They always seem to put a stagiaire, a trainee on duty, going back to check all the time. Impossibly slow. Just as in most train stations throughout Europe, the departure boards are yellow, the arrival boards are white. But here in Brussels, as is the case many times throughout Belgium, they have two boards, weekends and weekdays. This is Brussels Central, and there's the international booking office right there. Look, no lines. They know what they're doing. Not like the bordello of incompetence and insults you find at Midi Sud Station. Oh, by the way, right over there, 2 blocks, the Grand Place. I'm here in Brussels Central, where I'll be taking a train to Lille, sometimes called Rijssel in Flemish Dutch. And I'll be taking today, because it's a weekend, they do change during the weekdays, a change in Tournai, sometimes also called Doornik. The connection will afford me a non-stop connection from the French border, avoiding that now higher international French charge directly to Nantes, with none of that horrible change of the 14 stops between Gare du Nord and Montparnasse, and the horrible tunnels, given they didn't know how to design that. Ruin your ears. Likewise, you find that possibility of avoiding that international high French charge for Mulhouse, spelled Mulhouse, to Basel, Switzerland, and Bellegarde to Geneva. This is Lille, France, Rijssel in Flemish Dutch. This is the Flanders station for local trains and TGVs going to Gare du Nord. If you want to take the high-speed trains, it'll be leaving from Lille Europe over there. Yes, you can take the metro. It's complimentary between the two, but good grief, you can walk it, and given the distance and the stairs, you get lost. And also, some of the trains don't connect the two, and it's poorly signed. Instead, why not go through the mall? Really a pretty good mall. This is Lille Europe. There's your entry point over there for the Eurostar trains. If the airplane kind of check-in, got to do that way in advance. And by the way, if you do your booking here from Lille instead of, say, Brussels, Paris, it'll be cheaper, especially if your ticket's valid on this side. And of course, you may get a rail discount, but far better, do it online. The Eurostar.be site gives the best exchange rate, way in advance, far cheaper. I'm going to be taking the TGV to Nantes, bypassing Paris, and using only the domestic side. I'm getting the ticket in advance. I don't have to pay that peak load pricing and no international charge. Here's a map of France with the inner city trains shown in, I guess, yellow, the TGVs in blue. The inner cities sometimes do and sometimes do not take reservations. Well, I'm here in Nantes, France, one of my favorite little towns. I think it's the 5th largest, and I've had a change in my preferences for where to stay. There's the terminus. Used to like it. They changed. And then the Hotel de la Gare used to be priced right. Boy, they have a hostile management, raised the prices. 2 stars. Oh, I found here the Astoria, 3 stars, and yet we're cheaper. Adore this place. It's like the Pour in the Ville, Quebec. And the Bourgogne is sadly closed. I'm here in Nantes, France, going to Paris. I could be taking the TGV with that horrible, that badly designed tunnel given as the first high-speed route in Europe. Really ruins your ears. But you know, thing with Montparnasse, you're in the wrong place when you arrive. You either got to take 14 stops on the metro to get to Gare du Nord, or the leisurely bus ride to Gare de Lyon. I'm going to instead be arriving at Austerlitz, which is in the Bastille area, and I'll be doing that by taking a regular train instead of the high-speed train. On your rail planner, you have to turn off the high-speed train button, and in doing so, I'll have a chance for a layover and tour for about an hour, which is kind of nice because that's where the perfect French is spoken. And likewise, you'll find that to be true in Guimarães, Portugal, Leon, Spain, in Alkmaar, Netherlands, in Hanover, Germany, and Firenze, Italy, and likewise, if you will, Omaha in the United States. Everybody does remember Tom Brokaw and Johnny Carson. They were from Omaha. In France, the regional trains, appropriately called Train Express Régional, look like this. And then you have the inner cities. They used to be called the Old Corail. They sometimes take reservations. And then down there you see there on the left track a double-decker duplex TGV. So I arrived here at Paris Gare d'Austerlitz. Right, a convenient walk right across the River Seine to, if you wanted to go to the Gare Lyon, the Bastille. And I'll have to be changing at Saint-Michel to get to Gare du Nord, Gare de l'Est. And notice, look at the mess you'd have to go through if you had arrived at Montparnasse. By the way, I'll be using my compte-mark, my etiquette, my ticket, save it till the end. Located 2 blocks from Paris's Gare du Nord, right there, is the Hotel de Milan. You know, it's still priced to move, unlike a lot of the others. Neat, tidy, and it's also just 2 blocks over there, over and so on, to Gare de l'Est. This is Paris's Gare de l'Est for travel to the east, especially to Germany, and for a while, but not anymore, to Switzerland. That's been returned to Lyon with the new high-speed route. If you're going to and from Gare du Nord, it's 2 blocks over, 2 blocks down. Notice if you're going to Gare du Nord, see those stairways? No, you want to go over that way, 2 blocks and then up. And taking a little respite, and being reminded in most Paris cafes, there's 3 prices at the counter: inside sitting down, outside sitting down, each progressively higher. But he informed me here, we'll see, that yeah, it'll be the same price. Here at Gare de l'Est, 2 types of service go internationally to Germany. And the fare structure is such that actually there's really no major reason to avoid the international surcharge. In this case, you can get it for 13 euros, second class. And here we have on the left the TGV service, normally serving Stuttgart, sometimes Munich, and the ICE German service serving Mannheim and Frankfurt. That differential is only 4 euros, and given the possibility of peak life pricing and the fact that the change at either Saarbrücken or maybe Offenburg to Strasbourg is not worth the effort, this time we're going international. So I'm taking a side trip to the largest memorial in Europe, victory over Napoleon, the Volkerschlachtdenkmal. It's just a little side trip off of Leipzig. What's interesting is that the Europlanner schedule is more accurate than the pre-printed Fahrplan here in the train. And some 4 S-Bahn stops south of Leipzig's main train station. Here it is. A wonderful diversion traveling to Hamburg is to take the Czech Eurocity train. Maybe it runs maybe 15 minutes slower. Sometimes on work days it actually runs faster and you get a nice meal. Here is Zoologischer Garten here in Berlin. Here is Hauptbahnhof. If you take the regional trains, you can skip a bunch of stops. Mainly take one from the south of Südkreuz, and you could change to Spandau, but again, that's in the middle of nowhere. It's better to go Hauptbahnhof, then Zoologischer Garten. This is Hotel Ansbach on Ansbachstrasse here in Berlin. Oh, don't confuse it with that. Just right over there, Wittenberg U-Bahn. Much like, say, Portland, Maine and Portland, Oregon, one starting with an O, one starting with an M, except the other way around here, we have in Germany Frankfurt Oder, that's on the east, and Frankfurt, Maine, that's on the west. And you know, had Kennedy been, he could have said, Ich bin ein Frankfurter, oder nicht. Here's a map of Czech services. You'll see the yellow line going across is the Super City service. Turns out that the delays would be such that it's probably not worth it, and the timings will verify it. On the other hand, using Railjet service from Austria is without reservation and is a good choice. Coming into Nuremberg, one can make a bus ride, reservation required, directly to Prague. I would suggest perhaps going via Munich. There's a train daily. Another possibility is via Salzburg and then Linz, not Lienz, and taking you the leisurely but obligatory route with Česká Budovica to Prague. Then you can go up to Berlin with the Elbe of the East. That was what I'd do. As we leave Nuremberg, a well worth a visit is the National Railroad Museum, a block over from the train station with a lot of politically incorrect engines on display. This is Austrian Railjet service, replacing their former Eurocity service with the same timings. Highly recommended, especially if you're going to Hungary. The Czechs have a similar version, but it has a blue livery. Likewise, here's an Austrian service to Italy. Takes a supplement charge, last to do so in Italy. The 3-4 euro difference is worth the bother. It's required in Italy. This EuroAid office here in Munich, very helpful, always knowledgeable, always correct. Here in Italy, only in Italy, at a ticket machine or online, you can actually get a global pass reservation. You'll need to add in your global pass number. It's in the upper right hand corner. You may not be able to fit all the numbers. No extra charge. You can do it online. Only in Italy. This is a Freccia Argento Silver Arrow train. Runs off the spine of Italy, pretty darn fast. The fastest along the spine of Italy, the Freccia Rossa. That's the Red Arrow trains, not to be confused with the all-red Italo trains. Those are private. Then there's the Freccia Bianca. They replace the Intercity Plus trains. All of these take a 10 euro charge. First class sometimes is called business. There's also the inner cities, which do remain running twice as slow. They take a 4 euro charge. And here's a map. This former Cisalpino service is the most amazing train in Europe. It's modern, great food service, Niga technique. That means it's pendular. It goes to the fastest tunnels in Switzerland, from Milan to Geneva, Genève, Ghent, to Basel, Bâle, Visalia, and to Zurich, Zarigo. As we leave Germany, entering France, la da 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 la da da, we're taking a small train from Offenburg, not changing here instead of Karlsruhe, which would have had the TGV with a 13 euro supplement, and I'm arriving, it's maybe 6, 7, 8 minutes later, and also that affords me the chance to come into Strasbourg, reminding you that there is Strasbourg, that's with a U, and Strasbourg in Germany, and it's not for you. For the opening of the high-speed route on the eastern part of France, we now have this service running north-south, in this case from Luxembourg to Montpellier, and another choice, yeah, here she comes, is from Mannheim to Marseille. Nice thing about doing this is I'm getting the local first class fare in advance. You got to do that at €9, whereas I would have had to take second class at 13 with a change from Mannheim. Again, using 2 tickets to and from Spain on the French side from Perpignan, getting first class as well as avoiding peak load pricing and distance-based pricing. On the Spanish side, second class from Figueres de la Font. Note that the train numbers are not the same. In Montpellier, France, to the left of the station is a Hotel de France. I was ripped off, literally, credit card fraud. I've returned thus to the Hotel Europa.